Good Thursday. Good Thursday and happy whatever time it is your time right now.
Yes.
Today's topic for Espresso with Erin and Sarit. By the way, if you have friends that you feel would vibe with our vibe, invite them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for today's topic.
Before we get into today's topic, hold on. Okay, we have exciting news for you guys.
Right.
And we must share it at the beginning because we know that we tend to go on tangents.
And in the middle, if we remember, and at the end, if we remember.
Yes. So you guys, you've been asking for it for a couple of weeks now.
A couple of weeks?
Months.
Like, when did we get the Improve You hats? Since the first time you saw our sweet Improve You hats, you've been asking.
Since we moved to Florida because the humidity here is real.
So like 5 to 6 months.
Okay. So you guys have been asking for things like hats and...
When are you going to sell those hats? When are you going to sell those hats? When are you going to sell those hats? When are you going to have new merchandise? When are you going to ask for more of my money? The day is coming. Brittany got the email. So excited.
Yeah. So you guys, next week, Monday through Friday, Monday, August 2nd through Friday, August 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Only 5 days.
We're going to be taking pre-orders for the new merch drops. Okay, so something that we always say is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Tomorrow we have a guest interview. So we want to help you guys plan in advance with regards to all things merch. There's going to be a lot of really cool shit. Like, are we supposed to tell them?
I mean, there's some pictures in the email that they got. That might be all, that might not be all.
There's more stuff. There's one thing that I didn't see in the email that I'm really excited about.
Which is what?
The tie-dye?
No, it's the black one.
Uh-huh. It wasn't in the email?
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh.
Yeah. I love to boogie.
Yeah.
I love to boogie. You guys got to get the boogie t-shirt. Come on. I love to boogie in Miami colors. Da-da-da-da with the black tie-dye.
Do you want them to get? Do you want them to? Tell them.
All the proceeds go to Boogie making a kissing booth.
Because we know that all of you guys want to give him all the kisses. What do you have to tell them? How long have you been working on this shirt, mister?
For my whole life.
Wow. And what is your expectation out of it?
Sell out.
Sell out.
Yeah, sell out a pre-order. I don't know how you do that, but I want to.
Sell out a pre-order. Okay, so you want to crash the website, basically.
Yeah, I want to break the internet.
Okay, Boogie wants to break the internet. Do you guys want to help him break the internet? Make sure you pre-order the I Love to Boogie shirt. Okay, it's going to be absolutely epic. So next week, Monday the 2nd through the 6th.
Monday to Friday.
We'll be doing pre-orders. Okay, if you snooze, you lose. So we want to make sure that you guys know ahead of time. Super excited for it. All right, well, let's get into today's topic, shall we?
We shall. I want to tell them when you guys do pre-order, we are going to do production. It's going to be about 10 to 12 days before things get shipped out. So just so you know, it's going to be probably like 2 weeks before you get the stuff after you order it. And then after that, whatever is on the website is just order like normal. Like normal.
Boogie wants you guys to know that he worked so hard on his design that he's now ready to take a nap.
He said, now that we moved to Miami, I want to support the Miami vibes. But also, since we like to dance a lot on the burn zone, we got to make it say, I love to boogie, because I also need to be the star of the show. So it's a perfect shirt.
Of course.
All right.
Who's excited? Drop it in the comments. Who's excited? Show Boogie. Are you going to get the I Love To Boogie shirt?
All right. While they are answering, we will get to today's topic now. It's about time.
It's about time. All right. So you guys. Who in here is in a relationship, by the way? Either married, just started a relationship, maybe you're engaged. Maybe it's a relationship with your parents or your roommates, or it doesn't matter, right? So relationships are a part of our lives. And what if you're on a mission to transform yourself? And man, you're feeling good, you're seeing results, you know the potential of what's going to start to happen when you transform yourself. And because you know the power that it has on you, obviously, because you are a person with good intentions and integrity, and you love those who are around you, you may hope that, well, you share the love, in a sense that I just started my own transformation and man, I'm loving it. So now you should start doing it too.
Or because you see how great it is for you and the benefit that it is having and the effect that it's having on your life, you're like, my husband needs to do this, or my wife needs to do this, or my girlfriend, or my boyfriend, or my dog, or my whoever needs to do this. Actually, let's keep it to like the romantic relation, the partnership, because this is what today's conversation is about. This is a sticky
like
icky
like sushi rice.
So you know, this has happened multiple times in our community, like, oh, my wife really needs this, or, you know, I want to get my husband to start making changes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, when was the last time somebody told you to do something? Like told you had to do something? Think back to that time and then answer, because they told you needed to do it. Was there a certain amount of resistance? Just because they told you needed to do it.
Think about the last time I told you to do something and you didn't feel like it.
Hold on. That's different though, because you all here raised your hand and you said, please, I want to hear what you have to say. I would like your advice. Please help me. That's why you guys are here. We're talking about unsolicited help and advice, right? We're talking about voluntold, right? So like, you know, I remember when I use this example all the time, but when I was a kid, I knew one of my chores was to sweep the floors, and I intended on sweeping the floors. But as soon as one of my parents would tell me, remember to sweep the floor, I'd be like, and now I don't want to do it because I don't want you to think I'm doing it because you told me to do it, because I want you to know I was going to do it anyways. And it was my idea. Now I don't want to do it because I'm stubborn. And you think I'm going to be doing it because you told me to do it. But I was going to do it anyways. Right? So this is that situation. And maybe they don't want to do it. Maybe they're not like, you know, I was going to sweep the floor. Maybe they don't want to start eating healthy, but you want them to. You want them to start exercising. You want them to make lifestyle habit changes. You want them to pay more attention to their nutrition, and you want them to get their ass up off the couch and stop spending so much time clicking through the channels because they're going to get arthritis in their thumb from doing that.
And let me tell you something. You are right for wanting all of that for them. Because your intention is to help them.
But
yes, let's get to it.
People are more likely to take action on the idea that belongs to themselves than the idea that comes to them from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So if you tell your spouse or your significant other or your partner that you want them to start making changes, whose idea is it? Yours or theirs? To them, how do they receive that? Is it your idea that they should do that, or is it their idea that they should do that?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's not their idea, good luck. So how do we navigate this? So how do we, because we care for them, right? So we want to see them make good changes, but how do we do that in a way that is supportive and not critical?
Sticky like rice.
Sticky, icky. Oh,
is what this is going to be all about. So, it all depends. Like with regards to how you're going to bring it up, it depends on the person. Because, like, for example, let's say, especially if they have quite a bit of weight to lose, the first thing they're going to think about is, are you telling me that I need to lose weight? Are you telling me that you're no longer attracted to me? Are you telling me that you no longer want to have sex with me? You know what? Fine. Let's just get a divorce now. And you haven't even said anything. You're like, bitch, relax.
I mean,
so there is an art to it, and of course, it is a case by case basis. So
hold on, why does that happen though? Like before you go further, that
they know their situation. These are all internal thoughts that they're feeling, but they haven't had the courage to bring it up because they probably don't know what to do. They're probably scared. They're probably scared.
But when if you were to say to a significant other, let's say I'm doing really well. I just started my fitness, my health journey. I'm doing well. I lost 10 pounds. I'm feeling really good about myself. I'm creating new lifestyle habits. I'm in the inner circle. I'm jiving. And you sit on the couch all day after work, crack a couple beers, don't do anything, order Uber Eats, McDonald's. There's no alignment. Right. So that makes my job more difficult to be able to keep on my journey because of the environment that I'm in. But also I care about your health. I want you to experience the good feelings that I'm experiencing by the changes that I've made. So I want you to make those changes. May have nothing to do with you're fat and disgusting and I don't want to be with you. But when you suggest somebody should change, communication is not what is said. Communication is what is received. Communication is what was heard. So how do you, like when you say to somebody, hey, you need to start eating better. Now you have opened the door for them to make all the assessments as to why you would suggest. Without knowing why you're making the suggestion, they're going to make up stories. How are they going to make those stories up? By the truth as they know it in their own life. I'm going to make up a story. I've been on my journey. You're sitting on the couch, having a McDonald's party, drinking, whatever. Okay. And if you do any of these things, like, everybody gets to live their own life. So I'm not trying to hate on anybody. I'm just painting a picture, okay, of habits that get created by people whose health is deteriorating because of their choices. Okay. So you're on the couch, you're having your party. You got 3 Big Macs. You're like jamming them. You're crushing it.
Do my reps.
Watching South Park. Okay.
Bicep curls.
So I say, hey, you should start eating healthier. But what you're going to say in response, or what you're going to think, is what the truth is to you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you calling me fat? Are you calling me lazy? Are you calling me unhealthy? Are you saying, but really I'm saying, I want you to experience this great feeling I'm experiencing because of the changes I've been making. Whatever their thoughts are their truth. And it hurts if they want to change. If they don't want to change, they'll be like, I don't give a shit. If they do want to change, they're going to get offended and they're going to get hurt, not by you, but by what their ego has told them is their truth that they haven't faced. So we have to be very mindful about the way in which we approach this situation, because communication is not what you say. Communication is what is heard.
Yeah.
So, what would you suggest?
Well, I will start with a question. What I would suggest is like, man, get with somebody who's on the same page as you.
Sarit's like,
because I'm like, honestly, like I could not tolerate that.
Sarit's like, yo, I'm out of here.
I could not tolerate it.
Hold on.
Yeah,
When you first started your journey,
I remember, yeah.
You stayed in the situation for a little while that wasn't aligned, right?
Right, I did.
Right, everybody
Sure
does
did.
it.
Sure did.
I stayed in a situation for a little while that wasn't aligned with me.
Sure did.
Sure did. Eventually, we both ended up leaving because we're like, fuck this.
Yeah.
It's not matching up. But, okay, what about the people who've been married for 12 years, 15 years? They're like, oh, and they just started making their changes. There's a lot of history up in that relationship. It's not just, you got 3 kids, a mortgage, 2 cars, and you're like, this shit, I can't just leave. I want to get them. The natural next step is like, I want to see if I can help them to get on the same path as me.
Yeah.
Okay. So what question would you ask? So let's assume you're still in tolerant mode of the situation. What would we do about it?
I would ask them a question.
What question?
Well, based on what I see, I will just begin with curiosity. I'm just thinking of the worst case scenario, and they will probably get defensive anyways. And maybe I'm saying that because that's the situation that I was in. And that's why I'm like, never again. After that happened, I'm like, never again will I ever even like squeak the door to somebody who's not in full alignment with me, because it's like an attack every single time. But you know, that like the simplest thing I would say is, hey, maybe tomorrow we can work out together. I'd really like it if you join me.
Yeah. Or, hey, do you want to work out with me?
Yeah.
Like, this is just a simple.
I feel like that's the most subtle way. Like, if you go into people's food, it's like you're digging at their emotions. I feel like if you go into training, it's like a little bit more subtle, because everybody could get down with a workout, but not everybody could get down with like change how you eat, because so many people are so emotionally attached to their food in ways that they can't even imagine. So, you know,
being involved in something together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And look, if that's weird, because for the last 10 years, you haven't done anything like that together, it would be weird for you to just walk up and say, Steve, would you like to work out with me? Like, when you never worked out together for the last 10 years, like, that's weird. So you got to call out the elephant in the room. Hey, I had an idea. This might be a little bit crazy, but just hear me out for a second. I've been working out and it's really fun, but I think it would be even more fun if you were interested in doing it with me, because then we can like, you know, connect and it'll be awesome. I don't know what you think. Would you want to do that? So then you're like calling out the obvious. You're like, I know it's weird that I'm asking you this because I haven't ever asked you to do this before, but like, would you want to? And then there's no suggestion of like, I want you to change. It's like, how are they perceiving it based on the way that you've said it? That's great. Would you want to work out together?
Yeah.
Is there any other like questions that you'd ask or?
Yeah. Maybe around before the weekend comes around, because most people tend to do even worse on the weekends, right? Like they tend to eat more shit. They tend to drink more alcohol. They have no structure whatsoever. Maybe it can be something along the lines of creating a better for you weekend activity. Like you went for Steve, I'll go for Stephanie. Okay.
Great.
Hey babe, how would you feel if maybe like this Saturday morning we can go for like a quick walk or a jog in the park instead of staying up late on Friday night and you know, drinking a bottle of wine? How would you feel about that?
Yeah, there's no suggestion.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to change, because you're doing it together.
Yeah.
If it's something you're telling them they need to do versus you're saying, hey, can we do this together? Great.
Yeah.
I would go like, I have another way. There's no right or wrong here.
Mhm.
I would say there's effective and ineffective. So you can determine whether that either of those is right or wrong. But another, what I would believe, actually what has been proven to be a successful way, because it's happened many a time in our community. And I just thought of definitely what I would not do. But first, here's another approach that I have seen works. Just shut your mouth and show them your results.
Yes.
Do not tell them anything. Don't say what you're doing. Don't, keep it in the dark. Don't tell them what you're doing. You're going to create so much intrigue. Don't tell them what you're doing. Don't tell them why you're eating healthy. They ask you if you want something, say, no, thank you. Why aren't you drinking? I just feel better when I don't.
Oh, let's talk about the
Wait.
Okay.
So Stacy and Nicole, you guys have heard about them. And we've shared this story before. So I think they'll be okay with it. Stacy joined our cult, as Nicole called it. And Nicole was doing a different program. And Stacy decided she was going to jump all the way in, just took the plunge, went all the way in, joined the inner circle, and she started seeing results. Now, Nicole is used to the trend of Stacy. Can you take it away though? Okay. Nicole was used to the trend of Stacy yo-yoing. Lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And they would do it together. They would both do it. So Stacy starts losing weight. Nicole's expectation is that Stacy's going to gain weight, whether she is consciously aware that that's her expectation or not. Subconsciously in her mind, she's like, we'll see, because of the trend. So when Stacy didn't start gaining weight, and when Stacy's demeanor changed, and when Stacy's attitude changed, and when Stacy came alive again, and when Stacy refound herself, Nicole's like, what the fuck are you doing? I gotta get me some of that. It's happened many.
When Nicole was eating her food.
It's happened many times in our community. And, you know, it's just when your results show, and this is a longer term game plan, but when your results show and you prove a different trajectory than you had in the past, and people can see that, they're like, wow, you're clearly doing something different. And they start to be like, they might not say it right away, but they'll be like, something is different. Especially, I'm going to plug the inner circle right now again. Like, if you are in the inner circle, this is where it happens the most. Mm-hmm. they see, they're like, something you're doing is different. And so they're curious.
Mm-hmm.
They're curious before they say something.
Mm-hmm.
And then after a little while goes by and you keep proving to improve and you keep showing them that you're growing as a person, as a human being, you're losing weight, your attitude gets better, your whole persona, like your whole just person is just transforming. They can see it. They're like, then at some point it comes out like, what are you doing? Even not in a romantic relationship, even in just like friends or family, you see, they're like, wow, you're really losing, like, you're really looking good. And you really are just like, you seem like you're happy all the time. What are you doing? They just open the door for you to tell them what you're doing. Not to say they have to do it, but they already know they want to do whatever you're doing because it seems like it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what we look for. Who is successful in my idea of success, where I want to be successful? I got to find out what they're doing because it's working. And then I got to try to do that. Happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the show don't tell approach, but you could also do the, hey, join me, this would be fun to do together approach. Okay, so you were going to talk about something. I'm going to look at some comments to see if there's any
Hold on,
questions.
I'm pouring my thoughts on paper.
And like, thank God for just, anybody who has a partner who really is truly supportive, not supportive in a way where they're like, yeah, babe, I'm supportive. Hey, by the way, you want to get pizza on Friday night? Not that kind of supportive. That's not supportive. That's fake supportive. That's selfish supportive. Yeah, I really want you to get to your goals, but I want pizza more. You want to join me? That's not supportive. Okay, so blessed are those who have a truly supportive partner. I feel like the most grateful person in the entire world because I never have to explain myself or justify why I want to work out, why I want to go for a run on the beach, why I want to eat right, why when we go to a restaurant, we're going to have standards at that restaurant, why whenever we're going to have a drink, we set like intentions and boundaries with those drinks. I never have to explain myself. And I always know that there's an unspoken understanding and respect, and it's mutual on both ends. So there's never a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Never tension. All right.
Okay. So when you get on this journey, especially if you are a true ENS Army member, one of four things will happen if you're in a relationship. And actually, if you're in a relationship, this will also happen with anybody else who is in your life that you have a relationship with. One of four things will happen. Okay. The first thing that may happen is that you evolve, right? Like you're starting to lose weight. You're starting to like talk to yourself differently, perceive yourself differently, treat yourself differently. And they're like, yo, what drug are they on? Let me get some of that. Okay. So you evolve, and then because they see all the positive changes within you, what may happen is that they too get inspired to evolve with you. That is the most ideal situation, by the way. Okay. However, not all the time does that happen, but that is what you want to hope and strive towards. Okay. Now, the second thing that may happen is that you evolve and they get more and more defensive about themselves. Okay. So now you guys are like living in your two complete different worlds. Okay. And with regards to what may happen over time, only your evolvement and your tolerance and how long they want to let that defensiveness forego will determine what will happen.
Do you see this?
When I started with you two, my fiance told me she wasn't interested in doing
I'm not interested.
but was supportive
But
of
I'll
me.
be
2 days
supportive.
ago, I shared with her my results from 3 months into the journey. And last night she started asking me about steps she could take to start moving forward towards her journey.
Show, don't tell, folks.
Yep. So you evolve, they get defensive, right? And this has nothing to do with you, by the way. It has everything to do with their insecurity. Because here's the thing, you guys, when you evolve in the sustainable way, based on all the things that we teach and preach all the time, your energy and your vibration is just going to be different. And like, these are things that are just felt and that are undeniable. Can't really explain it, but you can feel it. But if they're low because they're just stagnant, maybe like reverse stagnation, and you're like here, do you think they're going to be able to handle that? Do you think they're going to be able to handle you? Like, what happens when you guys walk into a room and everybody's like, man, like, you're looking great. And then the person is like not being paid attention to whatsoever. Or maybe they're even more shy now because they're like, shit, like, I don't know how to handle it. Right. So they just keep on getting more and more defensive. Now, the response with regards to being defensive may shift to one or two ways over time, one of which maybe they will want to get their shit together, which goes back to point number one. They will eventually feel inspired to want to evolve with you. Or another point, which we're going to talk about in just a second. The third point is that you evolve, they don't so much. However, they're acting fully supportive. Like, you know, you've had conversations, they know about, you know, like basically like, you know, with regards to all the things that you're doing, like what are the steps and targets and the intentions that you're putting together. And they're like, babe, I want to make sure that you have all of the food that you need Friday night. Let's say they're like, I'm just going to like stay here, eat my pizza, drink my beer. But babe, I want to make sure that you got the right food. Can I make you anything? This will rarely happen, but I've seen it.
Supportive.
I've seen it. Like, it rarely happens. And like, that person has one heck of a confidence, honestly. But most people will feel very, very insecure about your elevation and them being okay, just being okay. However, that's a possibility. Okay, cool. Now, the next thing that may happen, you know, and that's kind of like on the trajectory of them feeling defensive as you are elevating, is that their resistance is going to magnify at the same rate as your level of success. And whoever is more persistent with regards to the force, either the pulling up force or the pushing down force, is the force that will win. So their resistance may actually pull you back to retreat mode where you were at the very beginning, maybe even worse. Because maybe they're pulling some kind of ultimatum because they are so uncomfortable with their own change and they feel like they can barely even handle how you're changing. So they're doing everything that they can to pull you back down to their level, because that is the only way they'll be able to handle you.
Look, this is awesome. I told my husband things were going to change with me, and he can choose to support me or not. But regardless, shit's about to go down.
That's awesome.
I had to go over what my goals were, and we can have different goals, but his negativity isn't going to stop me. I asked him to be supportive, and he actually joined me. He's lost 40 pounds. When you have that, it's like, look, do your thing, but I got to do my thing. And you can support me or not support me. I just want you to know you're going to see some changes. So
let me tell you some, and this is from like my experience with our relationship together. When you truly love someone and you see them like elevate so much and how that makes them feel better, even if you may be so uncomfortable doing it, you may do it just in order to support them. If you're being really defensive about it and you're trying to pull them down, then you're being selfish. And for the person who's transforming, if you are smart enough, then you may pick it up as signs of, does that mean that we're actually meant to be together? Just because we were meant to be together 20 years ago doesn't mean that we are meant to be together now. That's just the reality of it. So many people end up dictating their, future actions based on their history, when your history has nothing to do with where you're going. Okay? It could, but it doesn't have to at all.
It can often be suggestive as to what's going to, if there has been a pattern, right? A pattern is a pattern. A pattern is something that continues to happen consistently the same way, right? If you draw a pattern, if you draw a zigzag and then you draw a straight line under it, and then you draw another zigzag line, and then you draw another straight line under it, and the puzzle says, what comes after the straight line at the bottom? You're like, a fucking zigzag, because that's the pattern, right? So there's a certain amount of predictability that people expect based on historical patterns, but that doesn't mean, it's almost sweeter when that's what doesn't happen. Because you're like, yeah.
And from what I've realized too, and this is from, just my experience coaching people, that there is an involvement curve from a couple situation. Let's say if you're really like into it and you're really, really serious initially, you may face resistance, and you probably will. But as you keep on moving along the trajectory of your journey, that resistance normally start to fade away. Unless there was resistance from so many other elements of your life already, then that's just going to magnify and you will probably want to be pulled out. But normally your persistence with it ends up pulling them up to some degree. Like it happened with so many people in our community. Stacy, it happened with you. Danny, it happened with you. And most of the time, that's what happens. However, there's so many complexities that go into a relationship. Weight loss and body transformation is just one aspect of it. And then with regards to having a conversation that's effective versus ineffective, the first thing that we have to consider is it's not what you say, it's what's heard that makes the difference. And the second thing that we have to consider is persistence, because normally the first time when you bring something up, they're probably going to be like, cool, she's doing this new thing.
She's doing another thing.
Been there, done that. I'll see how you do by Saturday. But then like 2 weeks into it, they're like,
I'll see how you do by Saturday. Why a fucking zigzag?
Asking me the same question. This is kind of weird. Nah, I'm good. Let me test her just a little longer. See how she does.
We'll see if you stick to it. We'll see that she's doing some other. That's why also like when we have the conversation about the inner circle, oftentimes it's like, it's a matter of like, I don't know if my significant other will be on board with this. Why? Because of the pattern. I don't want to waste more money because I don't think I'm going to follow through. Or how can I convince this person I've been with for so long that I'm going to follow through when my pattern is you're going to expect a zigzag where I'm trying to make a fucking whoop-de-doo. Because I'm changing shit up.
Yeah.
I want to speak into this though. My biggest issue right now is when my girlfriend and I work out, she and I keep up with each other when it's workouts, weights, etc. But when it comes to running, it never ends well. I hate running, but I can run for miles without problems. She wants to be a better runner, but is so slow. I'm almost walking and she gets pissed. I don't get a sweat in or feel like I'm not working out. And I run alongside her to motivate her, but she just gets more angry about it. If I run with her, it sucks. If I don't, okay. So here's the deal. Don't run together. And you could, that's a her thing. She's mad because she's not good. I don't even know who this is. It's a Facebook user. Can't see your name.
How can we see your guys' faces?
They have to like approve.
Can you guys approve that?
I don't know how. Okay, hold on. That's beside the point. Right now, it doesn't matter. But here's the deal with this. It's an insecurity thing of her. And so if you're running with her, but she knows you're not trying, then it's like a sympathy run. So it hurts her feelings because she's like, you're doing a sympathy run.
And then you probably get resentful.
Yes. But then if you go and you run ahead of her, she's like, why don't you run with me? Like she crazy. She crazy. So what I would suggest, there's just a lot of personal growth that would need to happen in the situation. So my suggestion, you can take it or leave it. I don't know if I'm an expert in whatever I'm talking about.
You are an expert. We've been through it. I used to do that shit.
Yeah,
I used to do that shit.
I'll give you an example after I give you my suggestion. So you can take it or leave it. But I would suggest that you just have a conversation in a way that she receives well, that says, hey, like, I would love to run with you. It seems that you get angry when I do because I'm not putting my full effort into it. But, also if you'd like to run by yourself because it makes you feel better, then I want you to do that. I want you to do whatever you need to do that makes you feel good when you're running and that makes you feel like you're getting better at it because it seems like that's what you want to do. What do you need me to do to support that? Because then whatever she answers, she can't get mad at because she said that's what she needs. Sorry. I'm so much better at fitness than you are.
You are. You guys are.
No, okay. But here's the thing. If we're in this situation, look, you want to get better at running, and I'm so excited about that. And I want you to get better at running. Mm-hmm. When I run with you, I feel like you get upset. And I don't want that. I want you to feel good while you're running. Mm-hmm. But if I go run ahead of you, I also feel like you get upset. So I'm just not quite sure what my role needs to be. All I want to do is support you. So I need you to just tell me what would make you feel the best, make you feel good about running and make you feel like you can get better at it. What do you need me to do that is going to be the most supportive of that?
Mm-hmm. And you guys, this is literally what she asked me. I think it was 3 years ago. Like I would always mope around every time she'd beat me in a workout. And then one day she's like, you know what? I'm going to lay it down. And she literally said it the same exact way. Because and she's like, I thought that
I added a piece though. I said, look,
spend time together.
No, I said, look, I love to work out with you because it's time we get to do something we both love together. But I refuse to lower my standard of what I'm capable of because I'm also here to get better like you are. Mm-hmm. So would you like to work out together or would you prefer we work out separately? Because I'm okay either way. I just want you to feel good about working out because that's what it's about. It's not about a competition, but I am going to try my best. And if my best is better than your best, I can't feel bad about that because if I don't try my best, now I'm holding myself back because of your feelings that are valid, but don't need to be had. If we were working out separately, you wouldn't have those feelings because you just wouldn't know. Mm-hmm.
So, then I said, this is like one of the only hours in the day we get to spend time together. And it's really important to me. And I'm just being all up in my feelings because I think highly of myself, but I'm not as good as you. So I'm just going to have to deal with it. And I made a commitment to her, and that was that. However, not always will this case arise. You know, we're very blessed because ever since like day one in our relationship, when something was uncomfortable, when there was an elephant in the room, we will distinguish it and talk about it immediately. A lot of couples don't. So, you know, I also understand that, you know, if you bring it up, that person may get defensive. And that's why I say one of four things is going to happen. And my only suggestion for those of you guys who are really serious in your journey is don't ever lower your own standards and your own goals for the sake of somebody else's comfort. Because here's the deal. If they really love you, they will support you through action. Otherwise, they don't really love you. They may say they do, but actions speak louder than words.
And action doesn't have to be, now I'm doing what you're doing. Action can be like you were talking about, like, hey, you know, I want to have a Chipotle burrito, and I know that doesn't fit with your goals. Mm-hmm. Would you like me to eat it, like, not in front of you? You know, like truly being supportive. Like, you know, maybe I don't want to make the same changes you're making, but can I make something for you that aligns with what you need? When I go grocery shopping, can you like write out a list of things that you would like me to get that, you know, that you would want to eat? I want to be supportive. I want to, you know, take the actions to do the things that show you I'm being supportive. That doesn't mean that they have to do it with you. That's like ultimate, but you can't make somebody do something they don't want to do, but they can say, hey, I'm happy to support you, even if I don't want to do the exact same thing.
You guys, let's do this thing. For all of you guys who have a supportive partner, I would love it if you could take a photo together and then post it on the Erin.
I want you to reenact this photo right here.
And if they are not already on the Erin and Sarit page, then have them join it. Because here's the thing, you guys. Imagine if both of you guys are consuming the same information. There's going to be more alignment. There's going to be more support. There's going to be a deeper understanding. There's going to be more understanding. There's going to be better decision making. Like your choices are going to be better. So, you know, for those of you guys, one of the things that you will say is, let's say if they're like playing video games with their like headset. Hey, babe, I just added you to this Facebook group. And you know what? You may drink the Kool-Aid, you may not, but it helped me to change my life. And I love being a part of it. And I think that'll be great if you join it too. All right, babe.
I saw. I don't even know where it was or what it was on. This dude was playing video games. He's like all into it. He's got like his chair in the living room and like the headset and all this stuff. And his girlfriend turns it off. And he's like, why would you? And he got so mad and he like threw the controller down. And he still had his headset on and he's like pacing around the house. And she's like, it's all you do. And he takes his head things off and he goes, it's all I have. And I'm like, ooh, he just said he don't care about you. So, I don't know where that came from.
So yeah, anyways,
I was just like,
invite your significant others, have them join the army, because when they do, things get so much better. Shout out to Liz Martini. I mean, you do that with Tracy. Shout out to Stacy. You and Nicole are deeply involved. Shout out to Danny. You and David are deeply involved.
Ooh, I forgot to say the what not to do.
Okay, say it.
How to definitely not approach this situation. Girl wants spouse to make changes. Girl talks to spouse's best friend. Girl goes behind spouse's back and talks to sister, talks to mom. Girl goes behind spouse's back and talks to whoever in-law. You need to talk to him. My aunt did this actually to me one time, to talk to Scott about an intervention. You need to talk to him. I'm like, you realize you can't change people if they don't want to change? What if they find out you went behind their back and now you're trying to tell me to make them change? That hurts even more. Don't do that shit. If somebody needs like a legit intervention, there should be professional help sought out. Make what you want of that. Yeah, 12-year-olds. Anyways, so.
Yeah, we hope that you enjoyed today's conversation, you guys. If you did, do us the good old favor, as we always ask, and please go ahead and share it with someone else who will appreciate it. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your cousin, your sister, maybe it's your dog. I don't even know. It doesn't matter, but share the love, because that's the name of the game. You guys, we will keep showing up for you because we have a massive mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. We're here to build a massive army of highly motivated people. We're here to make a difference in the world. So if you are a part of it, just go ahead and share the love. That's all that we ask.
And remember,
coming Monday.
Merchandise.
Coming Monday.
Pre-order. Monday through Friday only.
Yeah. You guys, tomorrow's Friday. Friday's live guest interview day. Tomorrow we have the pleasure of speaking with an extremely successful network marketer, Jason Panel. We're going to be talking about all of the ins and outs of how he actually took himself in network marketing from zero to earning multiple seven figures. If he can, so can you. So, especially for those of you guys who are involved in Team XND, highly encourage you to join it, and not just yourself, but make sure that you invite all of the people in your downline, because if they're on the same page, then guess what? All of you guys go up together. Okay, so that's the name of the game, you guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at noon. Between now and then, go get your spouses on the same page.
Bye.